There are really only a handful of reasons boutique owners tell me that they haven't gotten their bookkeeping together. So if you've been making any excuses yourself and finding reasons to keep pushing your bookkeeping down your to-do list, then today's episode is for you. I'm going to be walking through some common excuses I hear and helping you see how you can overcome them. Let's dive in. Hey there, and welcome to the Boutique Bookkeeper Show, where we take the mystery out of your money and make your numbers make sense. I'm Megan, virtual bookkeeper and bookkeeping coach, and I love helping female boutique owners just like you finally feel confident about the financial side of your business. If you're tired of feeling anxious every time you have to open QuickBooks, or if you're making sales but constantly left wondering, where did all that money go? You're in the right place. We'll cover all things bookkeeping and taxes, all in plain English, so you can be less intimidated by the numbers and finally start to use them to help you grow a profitable boutique. So, if you're ready to stop avoiding this whole numbers thing and start keeping more of the money you make, grab your coffee and your calculator and let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Boutique Bookkeeper Show. I'm Megan, and today we are going to be talking about 3 specific beliefs that keep boutique owners from ever getting started with their bookkeeping. So I've had a lot of members come through the membership and my course over the last couple of years, and while everyone's situation looks a little different, I keep seeing the same handful of fears show up right before someone finally takes that step. So today I want to break down 3 of them and show you what actually happens once someone pushes past each one. So the belief number 1 that I see is, I don't even know where to start. And this is probably the most common one I hear. So if you find yourself kind of having this belief of, I don't know where to start, I don't know what I don't know, I'm going to give you an actual starting point right now today. So what I want you to do to kind of overcome this is sign up for QuickBooks. I know it's a little bit of a price tag. I think right now the lowest tier is about $30 a month, but you are going to save so much time and effort, and it's going to make this entire bookkeeping process that much easier for you. So your starting point, sign up for QuickBooks. You're going to grab my free chart of accounts template. I'll link it below. It's already built, so it's boutique specific, so you're not stuck guessing what type of expense categories you even need. Once you download that, it's going to give you a video. It walks you through exactly how to get it in your QuickBooks. And then your final step that you're going to do is, once you're in QuickBooks, you are going to connect it to your business, bank, and credit card accounts. And it's going to start pulling in all of your transactions that you can just start tracking right there in QuickBooks. Okay, that's it. That's the starting point. Actually, it's 3 separate steps after your starting point. So that is definitely enough to get you started, to help you overcome that, I don't know where to start. I just told you. You don't need to know how to read your P&L yet. You don't need to know how to reconcile any bank accounts or payment processors yet. You just need those few things. If you want the full step-by-step roadmap after that, walking you through exactly what to do with those transactions once they're in there, that's what I built the membership for. But even without it, you now have a real place to begin today instead of waiting for someday when you just magically feel ready, because, spoiler alert, that day is not going to ever come. You start feeling ready just by taking action, and by actually doing the thing, you're going to get more confident with it. I had a member, Kim, who previously was tracking everything in a spreadsheet with no real system behind it. Just numbers scattered around and really no structure to even make sense of them. And once she had an actual starting point to follow, she called it a game changer. Not because the bookkeeping itself got easier overnight, but just because she finally knew what she had to do first, and then what she had to do next, and what path she had to follow to keep her bookkeeping in line. So that's belief number 1. I don't even know where to start. Your starting point is right here. Signing up for QuickBooks, importing the chart of accounts template, connecting your business, bank, and credit card accounts, and just start categorizing all of those transactions. Those are your first 4 steps to get you started. All right, belief number 2 is, I've tried QuickBooks before, but it just didn't work for me. And okay, I want to make sure that I am communicating this next part with a lot of love, because I know it might sting a little bit, but if you've tried QuickBooks before and it didn't work for you, it's very likely not because QuickBooks is broken or because you're bad at this, but it's because you simply weren't using it right. And that's not a knock on you. It's just nobody ever actually showed you the right way to use it for a business like yours. QuickBooks is a tool, and a tool is only as good as the setup and the instructions behind it. A boutique that runs sales through Shopify needs a completely different setup than a service provider that uses it to send invoices, or even a shop that uses Square at a farmer's market. So if you signed up for QuickBooks, poked around, got confused, and walked away, it's not a you problem, that's a nobody showed you the boutique-specific version of this problem. When I hear someone say, it just didn't work for me, it almost always really means, I didn't know how to use it right. And that's not a reflection of your ability to learn this. It just means that you were missing the right guide or the right setup right from the start. I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase, garbage in, garbage out. But if you're inputting the wrong information into QuickBooks, the output that you get in the form of your financial reports are simply just not going to be accurate. And you might see numbers on your reports that you're like, well, that's way off. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to give up, right? And again, that's not a knock on you. It's just QuickBooks has, it's a tool. It gets used very differently depending on the type of business you have. And if you are trying to learn QuickBooks from tutorials online or YouTube videos or blog posts that are published by someone not writing it for a retail business, the instructions are probably not going to be the best for you. I actually have a member, Megan, who had tried QuickBooks years before and she stepped away from it because she was feeling like it just never really quite clicked. And she was still paying for the subscription to keep that data, but she just wasn't actively using it. And when she came back to it, she started using the training videos in the membership, or I guess it was the course at the time, to help kind of untangle that mess, get caught up, and finally start getting a system that helped her maintain it moving forward. So if you've been sitting there thinking, yep, that's me, I've got prior years that are a total mess, my QuickBooks is a mess, I don't even know where to begin cleaning them up, then I want you to know that that's exactly what the QuickBooks Cleanup Bootcamp inside the membership, it walks you through. It's built specifically to help you deal with prior year messes and beginning year messes so you can get everything sorted out, and kind of gives you that fresh start to begin your bookkeeping with fresh numbers, accurate numbers in the current year, instead of feeling like you have to fix years of history before you're even allowed to move forward. And that's the whole point of belief number 2, right? QuickBooks not working for you the first time doesn't mean it can't work. It usually just means it hasn't been set up correctly for your business yet, and now you have the real path forward to be able to fix it. All right, belief number 3 is it's just too much work to stay on top of it, or it's going to be too much work. And this can be the fear that keeps people stuck the longest. It's this assumption that having a system and finally doing your bookkeeping means more time and effort, not less. But it's almost always the opposite. This chaos of having no system and the guessing and the scrambling and the pile of receipts that you're avoiding, that's the hard way. A real system is almost always less work than what you're doing now. So picture the boutique owner, or maybe this is you, who's currently keeping receipts in a shoebox or maybe a Ziploc bag in your car. And maybe a couple months down the line, you're trying to remember what a $47 receipt from Target was for because the receipt ink is fading and you just don't remember what you bought, right? That's not less work. It's more work trying to track that down. It's just, spread out over the course of the year and it's hidden, so it doesn't really feel like work in the moment. But compare that to sitting down for maybe 15 minutes on a Monday morning, categorizing the transactions from the prior week, and then you're done. I'll also say this, a good system isn't asking you to do more. It's really asking you to do the same amount of effort. It's just spread out over the course of the year, and it's on purpose instead of by accident or by under or under this, year-end pressure of you need to get it done right now so you can get your taxes done. That's the shift. So you're not adding work to your plate, you're organizing the work and spreading out the work that was already sitting there. It's just work that's sitting there in the back of your mind, waiting for tax season to force your hand to actually have you get it done. I have a member, Cambry, tell me that she was nervous the membership was going to mean a lot more work to keep up with. But instead, once she got her boutique-specific QuickBooks training, not some generic small business advice, but training that actually understood how Shopify, inventory, and her specific sales platform all work together, things started to feel easier. And now she's actually recommending the membership to other business owners in her own local networking group now. So if you've ever found yourself making one of these 3 excuses in your own business, I just want you to know that none of these 3 reasons are actually a reason to wait. Not knowing where to start, having tried QuickBooks before and just not having it not work out for you, or worrying it's going to be all this extra work, right? All of those feelings and thoughts are normal, but none of it means that you're behind, right? It just means that you're human and you're experiencing these emotions in an area of your business that you're just not confident in. So if any of these beliefs have been holding you back, then I just want to invite you to something that I've been working on for the last month or so. And I'm going to be running a live 4-day boutique bookkeeping bootcamp. I always have to say that slow, otherwise I fumble over my words. A boutique bookkeeping bootcamp from September 14th through the 17th. And we are going to be having 4 live coaching days where I walk you through the entire process of getting your Shopify or Square or whatever point of sale system you use, how to get all of those numbers into your QuickBooks Online, checking that all of your payment processors actually paid you every dollar that you're owed. And we're going to be talking through, building this 15-minute routine that you can actually stay on top of all year long. There's not going to be any girl math involved. There's no more guessing on what your numbers are. You're actually going to be able to face this with confidence. Right now, the price is just $15 with the early bird pricing if you sign up before September 4th. And if you can't make a live session on a given day for whatever reason, there are going to be some limited time replays available as well. So if that is of any interest to you, head on over to findingfreedomfinancial.com/bootcamp and grab your spot. We're going to turn your hot mess books that you have been avoiding into an actual system together that week. And I would love to see you there. But that's all that I have for you today. Be sure to tune in next week for another episode. I'll see you there. Hey there, and thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope that I shared something that helped you feel just a little bit more confident in understanding all the numbers in your boutique business. If you found this helpful, don't forget to go and leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. That's the best way for other boutique owners just like you to find this podcast so I can help them feel just a little bit more confident in their numbers as well. If you have any questions about what you heard today, hop on over to Instagram and send me a DM at Finding Freedom Financial. I'll be back again real soon, but in the meantime, go implement or take action on something you learned today. I promise your future self will thank you.